Welcome on the cosmic atom. Something weird is occurring throughout the world, and indications are no longer subtle. Between June 15th and June 21st, Earth experiences what many call the most energetically perilous week of the year. However, this is not only about earthquakes or politics. It's all about time frames. According to the Arctic Council, a massive time frame cleansing is now ongoing. This implies that the future is being rewritten in real time. If you're feeling worried or removed from reality, you're not alone. This is more than just a shift. It is a spiritual reset. And if you're watching this, you're supposed to comprehend what happens next. The most hazardous week of the year starts on June 15th. As June 15th comes, the air itself contains stress. It is not just personal stress. It is a worldwide frequency pressure. The Earth's energy infrastructure is undergoing enormous upheaval. That pressure is reaching its height. This week sees the confluence of solar flares, planetary alignments, and cosmic gates, amplifying all of our emotions, anxieties, and buried truths. For seniors in particular, this week may seem like traveling through memories as reality slips under your feet. Many elderly people are seeing unusual physical and emotional changes. There may be dizziness, extreme weariness, or abrupt alertness. These are not only indicators of aging. They are signs of exposure to an increasing planetary resonance. The Earth's frequency is growing, causing every mental, emotional, and spiritual system to readjust. Your body isn't confused. It's reacting to something genuine. This week is not just perilous due to external occurrences. It's harmful because it demands so much of your inner world. Old beliefs may crumble. Long-standing habits might abruptly break. You may feel bewildered. Alternatively, it may seem that you're not on the same timeline as everyone else. The break between the old and new energy routes is taking place in real time. You may also remember certain years, people, or events that you have not thought about in decades. That is not nostalgia. Your memory field is being accessible as the timelines begin to cleanse, and your soul is connecting the dots in your life narrative. What seems to be random is really planned. You are being shown where your thread of reality has to alter. While fear is natural, it is unnecessary. The next week isn't about punishment. It's all about location. You are being aligned, not attacked. Let this be a time of observation and caring. Slow down. Listen. Don't respond too hastily to external sounds. What's crumbling down is creating way for what your soul has waited lifetimes to experience. What the Arcturian Council implies by Timeline Purge. When most people conceive about timelines, they see a straight line from past to future. However, spiritual timelines are interwoven threads. Every decision we make creates a new thread of possibility throughout time, and used or damaged timelines accumulate as energetic debris. The timeline purge is the act of removing these heavy, old patterns to clear the route ahead. And the purging isn't mild. It eliminates aspects of your identity that you may have hung onto for decades. You may sense an inner need to let go of something or someone without completely knowing why. It might be a relationship, a professional tale, or an outdated way of seeing the world. That urgency is your soul's separation from a path it no longer belongs on. Many seniors may experience emotional waves as a result of decisions they made in the past. Regret may arise, but is not meant to punish. It's ready for release. This purging is not intended to judge the past. It is about removing the energy residue from timelines that are no longer in sync with Earth's growing vibration. You're being welcomed into a cleaner, more honest world. Strange synchronies are also part of the process. You may hear the same word constantly, see recurring figures, or come across persons from your past. These are messages from your higher awareness, indicating that your world is being remade. Each occurrence is an echo from a chronology that is being compacted or rebuilt this week. Allow things to drift away without stress. The purging is clever. It does not eliminate what you still need. It removes the obstacles that have prevented you from being the person you were born to be. Trust the shedding. What follows will seem lighter, truer, and more aligned than anything you've previously experienced. Why? Cosmic timelines are currently altering on Earth. Earth is not only a planet, it is a conch, being part of a wider cosmic network. Much as your body reacts to stress or relaxation, the planet reacts to cosmic motions. Right now, a strong alignment is causing adjustments in her energy timeline. This change was anticipated, but its magnitude has beyond many forecasts. It is not just a variation in frequency. It is a complete recalibration of Earth's position in the universe. These movements are not limited to astrology or energy work. Scientists have already seen higher solar activity, magnetic field variations, and even little earthquakes in previously tranquil areas. According to the Arcturian Council, this is a pivotal juncture in which mankind may either advance or collapse its collective destiny. Timelines are like highways, and diversions are gradually vanishing. For elder spirits, this may be both painful and liberating. You've accumulated knowledge over many incarnations, and you may be feeling like you're outgrowing even your own views. This is part of the transition. What formerly seemed secure or holy may suddenly seem too little. That is not loss. It's called evolution. Your consciousness is expanding to accommodate Earth's new frequency. You may also feel more vulnerable to dishonesty or manipulation. That's because the previous timelines were based on illusions. As the purging proceeds, the truth grows heavier and harder to ignore. As a result, individuals and institutions based on untruth begin to disintegrate. It's not your fault if you can't take the news or certain discussions anymore. You're dealing with the genuine concerns. Why is today more important than ever? The Earth has chosen a higher path, and mankind must determine whether it will follow it. It is not a forced change. It's a soulful choice. And each breath you breathe in present and awareness serves to anchor the new grid that is forming under your feet. How to experience the timeline cleansing in your body. The cleansing does not occur just in the stars or sky. It occurs in your body. You may have recently experienced unusual symptoms that cannot be explained by common medical conditions. It is not your imagination. Many individuals, particularly those with years of spiritual or emotional understanding, are experiencing the purging via their physical bodies. The body is always the last to respond. However, when it does, it talks loudly. Common symptoms include heaviness in the chest, pressure in the head, joint stiffness, or a general sensation of electric static traveling through the limbs. These are not symptoms of sickness. They're indicators of energy excess. Your system is removing timelines, tails, and emotional remnants. Just like the Earth loses magnetic energy during storms, your body loses stagnant data during pain. Older folks may also experience unexpected emotional releases, such as tears or laughter. Your energy field is letting go. You aren't losing your grasp. You're allowing the outmoded self to dissolve. And once that weight is lifted, your body will feel lighter, clearer, and more sensitive to subtle spiritual instruction. Nausea, dizziness, and hunger. Shifts are also indications. Your stomach is your second brain, and during a purge, it often responds first. You may want simpler meals, more water, or relaxation at unusual hours. This is natural. Don't impose normality right now. Your body is preparing for something your intellect has not completely comprehended yet. The finest thing you can offer your body right now is quiet and permission. Allow it to move as it wants. Lay it. Sleep more. Let it weep. What seems to be a breakdown is in fact a realignment. Your body is being modified so that it can live and flourish in a new temporal frequency. Mass awakening or perplexity, which are seen as weak, offers two avenues for mankind. The first leads to waking, whereas the second leads to perplexity. The energy from June 15th to 21st is so powerful that it enhances whatever is already in the head and heart. For individuals who are anchored and present, this energy seems like a summons to action. However, for those who are imprisoned in dread, everything may seem to be spiraling out of control. Older generations are ideally positioned to shape this decision. You have seen terror before. You've seen global changes, cultural adjustments, and spiritual transformations. This moment demands you not to react, but to remember that all you've been through has prepared you for this. The route to waking is chosen not via force, but with awareness and a peaceful refusal to nourish chaos. There are already evidence of widespread uncertainty, increased debate, and contradictory narratives. Sudden terror in locations when quiet is required. This is not because people are terrible. It's because the park is focusing on all unresolved emotions. What has not been healed will now come to light, both personally and collectively. The option is whether we will rise with it or sink below it. The quality of your thoughts and breath will indicate which road you are on. Are you calmer than the news? Are you clearer than the background noise? If so, you are anchoring awakening. However, if your energy is drawn into every fight or drama, it is necessary to take a break. What the world now needs is less response and more intentional presence. There is no penalty here, only opportunity. The purge is fresh, and what it reveals relies on what we're ready to see. Confusion thrives on haste. Awakening develops in the calm. Choose your rhythm carefully this week. It may influence which future you will soon be going toward. Signs. The timeline cleansing has already begun. For many, the cleansing has not just started. It is already occurring. You may have observed unexpected indicators this week that do not match with your typical routine. People behaving out of character, devices malfunctioning more than usual, or your own mood swings with no apparent explanation. These are not coincidences. They indicate that the energy field around you is being rewritten. The tale you were living in is now being modified in real time. You may also experience an increasing alienation from items that formerly brought you comfort. Favorite routines may seem empty. Conversations may fall flat. Places you used to adore may no longer seem right. That vacancy is not a vacuum. It is a clearing. The time frames that were meaningful to the former version of you are disappearing, creating room for new resonances to form. Another strong indicator is the collapse of time itself. Days seem to blend. Time moves at random, both faster and slower. Some seniors describe feeling as if a single day holds the weight of a week, or that full weeks pass without being remembered. This isn't forgetting. This is the nervous system, recalibrating when time frames come together or diverge completely. You may also be experiencing more timeline bleed, which occurs when you see, dream, or feel something that does not correspond to the present moment. It might be a recollection from a different route or a feeling from a decision you didn't make. This is not a fantasy. It broadens one's perspective. The purge dispels the illusion of separation, enabling you to see timelines. You had no idea you were still alive. Collective trauma repetition and its underlying significance. Recently, communal dread and ancient scars have risen like steam from ground. Global tensions, unexpected eruptions, and emotional instability. It's all part of the same underlying mechanism. As the purging clears, ancient energy lines of unresolved trauma must emerge before it can be released. This is not a setback. It's a sign that mankind is now willing to address what has been hidden for decades. Many elderly are particularly sensitive to this emotional surge. You've been through war, loss, cultural shifts, and family transformation. These memories may seem near again, this time as echoes rather than agony. The purge isn't intended to penalize you for the past. It shows you where the light has not yet reached. What is emerging is not a weakness. It is wisdom, ready for integration. You could weep for someone you've never met. You may experience inexplicable melancholy. That is collective energy going through your field, and your heart, which has been toughened over time, can withstand it without breaking. You are contributing to its release, not just for yourself, but also for mankind as a whole. This is why compassion is important today. More than ever, it is not personal when someone lashes out, breaks down, or spirals. It's a purging pressure, and the more love you can hold in those times, the more easily this trauma repetition will fade. Do not absorb the turmoil. Witness it. Breathe through it, knowing that your quiet presence contributes to the Earth's healing process. According to your soul contract and this week's cosmic alignment, not everyone on Earth is here by mistake. Many of us, particularly those who awoke later in life, decided to be there at this precise change. The week of June 15th to 20th is more than simply a catastrophe. It's a checkpoint on your soul contract. That holy covenant your soul signed before this existence is now undergoing a key updating period. What no longer fits will be removed, usually without notice. You may experience a sudden withdrawal from roles, identities, or even lifetime habits. You may no longer feel connected to what used to give your life meaning. That is not failure. Rather, it is satisfaction. Your soul consented to certain times and routes, and now the Earth's vibration is increasing. Many of the agreements have been executed. You're being prepped for new instructions. You may feel lost for a few days. That is normal. The gap between contracts may frequently seem like it's floating, but remain present. Pay attention to what still seems alive in your body, in your dreams, and in the quiet chats you have with your heart. Your next goal will not come from reasoning. It will lead to internal clarity. This is why many older folks awaken with new ideas, passions, or an unexpected feeling of purpose. Even in retirement, a new chapter is starting. The cosmos isn't finished with you. In fact, it may have kept your most crucial work till last. This is not the conclusion of your deal. It's when your signature starts to sparkle. Are you entering a new timeline? This is one of the most disorientating aspects of the cleansing. Is it like you've walked into a different version of your own life? Places may seem the same, yet they have a distinct vibe. People speak things they ordinarily would not. You may feel as if you're viewing reality, but not really present in it. These are symptoms of a changing chronology, and they are becoming more prevalent as June 21st approaches. Timeline shifts are not science fiction. They are energy realignments that occur when your frequency no longer corresponds with your environment. It's like getting off a train before reaching your goal and boarding another, brighter one. You don't always feel it, but you notice the symptoms afterwards. One of the earliest indicators is inner confusion along with calm clarity. Even if you haven't resolved any problems, you may experience a dramatic lowering in emotional weight. That's because your soul has broken the cycle that has kept you experiencing the same misery. Alternatively, you may sense an increase in synchronicity, such as seeing the same numbers, hearing similar messages, or meeting individuals who seem immediately familiar. These are signposts from the new trail inviting you in. If this is occurring to you, do not try to force comprehension. Allow your body to adapt. Allow your heart to be inquisitive. You're not insane. You're not confused. You're merely standing at the threshold of a greater time frame, and a portion of your awareness is already passing through. This is why this week is so important. It's more than simply surviving the purge. It is important to choose your next time frame thoughtfully. How fear feeds the old timeline grid. This week's most significant reality is that anxiety fuels the old grid. Every fear response, every judgment, every furious reaction reinforces the very time frame we're attempting to break. That is why dread is growing right now. Not because danger is imminent, but because the old frequency is struggling for survival. It thrives on turmoil and unpredictability. Seniors, particularly those with a long memory, may experience this fight more intensely. You've lived through periods when fear dominated the globe, and you know where that path goes. However, something new has become conceivable. The more you choose present over terror, the less influence the old grade has on your reality. You're not here to respond. You're here to redirect energy with elegance. This does not imply rejecting your feelings. It entails viewing them without being absorbed. If the news bothers you, turn it off. If a talk becomes tedious, you take a step back and choose peace over panic. You're starving the old system. You are removing spiritual vitality from its circuitry. That is how power shifts, not via conflict, but by energetic rejection. This week is more than simply getting ready for what's ahead. It is about refusing to return to something that has previously failed. You have the freedom to pick a higher frequency, but doing so makes you a danger to light in a new time frame. Earth is weaving. Allow fear to fall like dust. Allow your energy to communicate in the language of trust instead. Spiritual methods for navigating temporal disorientation. When timelines collapse and reality becomes unstable. Many individuals, particularly the elderly, start to feel energetically lost. You may doubt your purpose, get disoriented in familiar surroundings, or awaken with no idea what day it is. This is not a memory loss. It's an energy readjustment. When the outside world shakes, your inner tools are your only compass. And today, those tools are more important than ever. Simple spiritual activities may strengthen your mind and soul. Deep breathing many times each day helps to quiet the nervous system and return consciousness to the present moment. Gentle movement, such as walking gently, stretching, or rocking in a chair, keeps energy moving when timelines become stiff or frozen. Sound also helps. Humming mild music or even stillness might help to re-establish coherence in the field. Journaling may be really beneficial for many elderly people. Write out how you feel, not what you comprehend. Allow the hand to move. Even if your intellect isn't making sense of what's going on, your spirit understands more than you do right now. Writing may also serve as a conduit for bringing greater knowledge to light. Most essential, allow yourself to relax. This is not laziness. It's an energetic integration. The Earth rewrites timelines, which rewires your neurological system. Naps, stillness, long baths, or times with your eyes closed are considered holy acts of adjustment. You aren't slipping behind. You're enabling your body to remember how to exist in a constantly changing environment. Why? Resonant creatures are experiencing greater disturbance today. If you've recently had a stronger feeling for things, joy, sorrow, and worry, even other people's feelings, you aren't overreacting. You are resonating. The more aroused your field is, the more it receives and transmits energy from the environment around you. That sensitivity, which was earlier seen as a weakness, is now exposing itself as holy power. But certainly it comes in waves. Elders and empaths have a higher frequency of lived memory, heart-centered awareness, and collected soul knowledge. As Earth's temporal grid breaks loose from lesser energies, people who are most tuned in are generally the first to sense it. You may feel exhausted, not from accomplishing too much, but from experiencing something that others are scared to confess. Your sensitivity is digesting energy that others are still suppressing. You may also have times when the grief of the world overcomes you. Even if your personal life is calm, this is not confusing. It's a communal absorption. You aren't being punished emotionally. You are a vessel that dissipates world stress via your own field. You do not have to solve everything, but your presence, breathing, and grounded love will spread healing far beyond your circle. This is the moment to save energy, not by shutting down, but by being choosy. Choose stillness over stimulation. Choose depth over distractions. The more resonant you become, the more mindful you must be of where your attention travels. You're becoming a receiver of planetary intelligence. Treat your sensitivity as a precious tool, not a burden. This week, we look at the Arcturian position in Light Coach. This week's focus is not just on what is crumbling. It's about what's happening during this time frame. Specific light waves. Codes are coming from cosmic sources, including what many refer to as Arcturian messages. These signals are neither visible nor spoken. They are frequency packets that improve your energy, body composition, DNA structure, and intuitive abilities. You may not see them, but your spirit accepts them. For those over 50, these codes may manifest as warmth in the spine, tingling in the forehead, or extraordinary inner quiet. You may also get them in dreams, particularly between 2 and 5 a.m., when your mind is least guarded. These are not just dreams. They are integration sessions in which light enters your subtle realms without resistance. If you found yourself shutting your eyes more often, daydreaming, or desiring alone time, it's because these codes need silence to land. The body isn't being lazy. It is planning to maintain a more consistent frequency in a changing environment. These light codes do not arrive to help you. They come to awaken what was already sown in you many years ago. If you reject these advancements, you may find yourself overwhelmed. That's why gentle surrender is essential. Inhale deeply. Allow yourself to stop when you sense internal pressure, and drink additional water to aid with cellular integration. You aren't only getting texts. You are becoming the bearer of them. These codes do not need your comprehension. They need your readiness to accept anchoring tactics from the Galactic Council during a temporal purge. Unanchored energy may quickly lead to terror. That is why anchoring tactics are being highlighted not just by earthly mentors, but also by higher intelligences assisting humanity's growth. These tactics are basic but effective. They serve to maintain your energy field, safeguard your clarity, and enable you to navigate tremendous transitions without emotional breakdown. The first and most important anchor is presence in times of overwhelm. Pay close attention to the slightest details, such as the warmth of your palms, the sound of the wind, or the sensation of your breath. These sensory checkpoints serve to restore coherence between your body and the Earth's field. Don't underestimate the amount of grounding you may acquire just by paying attention to your surroundings. Another method is gentle repetition. Repeating a relaxing term or phrase helps to modulate brainwaves during timeline turbulence. A simple prayer, a beloved song, or simply the word peace may send soothing waves through your heart. When mental confusion arises, this approach serves as a bridge. It restores rhythm to an otherwise chaotic day. Reduce energy clutter if your house is hectic. Simplify it. If your talks are exhausting, restrict them. These are not selfish deeds. They are anchoring acts. You're constructing a field that vibrates with light, and it requires clear space to function properly. You are not hiding from the world. You are becoming the pillar that holds the planet together. The media, mass events, and timeline cleanse mimic each other. What you see in the news during a week like this is more than simply reporting. It's a reflection. As the temporal cleansing continues, worldwide headlines often reflect humanity's internal conflicts. What seems to be conflict out, there is frequently the collective shadow being pushed to the surface for release. The risk is not in the incident itself, but in how we absorb it. Seniors, particularly those who consume a lot of media, may experience increased stress or even illness after seeing specific stories. This is because the body can't always recognize the difference between observed and experienced trauma. The nervous system absorbs both. That is why it is critical this week to track not just what you see, but also how you feel after viewing it. Many of these events also provide active diversions. They are intended to elicit a response and keep people stuck in the past. The more fear and fury spread, the more firmly established that old version of reality becomes. However, you have the option to opt out. You may testify without bearing the weight. You can keep informed without becoming involved. This week, ask yourself, what am I devoting my attention to? Where's my attention focusing on fear rather than the truth? You are not helpless in the face of the media storm. You are the observer. Allow your quiet to become a protest. Allow your article to spark the movement. You do not combat the previous time frame by interacting with it. You overcome that by selecting a new frequency. Dear viewers, your support through Super Chat and membership is the only source of income that keeps this channel running. If you want me to continue uploading valuable content without delays and to stay motivated in providing you with the best wisdom, I need your help. Every contribution, big or small, makes a huge difference. Feel free to donate and support Pure Wisdom so we can keep growing together. Your generosity keeps this journey alive.
If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.